had ideas kicking around. Yeah, at that time, how did I sort the two out? Yeah.
Well, how, I mean, we just said a minute ago that you kind of, Ultravox was your main concern, your main concentration. You say the better stuff or the stuff, and the bizarre.
No, it wasn't a case of better or better stuff. It was. It wasn't. I can really. I can. If I think back now, it's a long time ago. That I was fairly devoid of ideas, but I didn't actually mind that because it was fresh. I mean, what the first thing I did with Visage was we wrote Night Train, and I was very influential on that. And it was a case of like, right, okay, we're in a good studio now, finally. Let's me, Barry Adamson, and Dave Formula, you know, and Rusty. Let's get something really going here. And we got the backing track for Night Train. And I came up with the riff, da, da, da. That was actually me wanting to get more into a dancey sort of vibe. And so that was very exciting. It's a case of like sometimes when you do that, you have to move yourself and do different ideas, you know. So that was a real buzz. But also I found myself going into areas where I felt like I was repeating myself a little bit, because I think I can admit that I was a bit slightly devoid of ideas sometimes. And I just remember some riffs that went on the album, because you've got to remember we'd done an Ultravox album. They weren't easy coming for that album. It became a bit hard work. I know for a fact that Midge had some ideas cooking there that he just kept, which we knew would be okay for Visage. You know, some songy sort of, like The Horseman or something like that, guitar-orientated stuff that he knew not to present it to the Ultravox thing. But even then, you know, that is hard work. Sometimes you think, shit, I wish I was just in one band. Because, you know, it tends to put me and Midge too much in each other's pockets. Maybe it could have been good for Ultravox. Do you know what I mean? It tends to make you compartmentalise yourselves, and me and him are thinking not just about Ultravox, but you've got this other little world there, you know, and you start second-guessing each other too early, you know. I mean, you know what I mean?
Once
Like,
picked you up, you made, you know, Vienna was big, you know, you were going. And why didn't you jump Visage? Why didn't you say, right, okay, we're going to concentrate on that?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, don't really know. I was up for it. I suppose I was kind of on board, really. No, I mean, it didn't really cross my mind because I liked it. I liked it. I liked the feel of it, everything. I liked the fun of it, and I thought we would have that fun again, and we did to a certain extent.
You mentioned earlier that
But unfortunately, looking back, it just only lasted 2 albums, you know. I mean, Midge did actually quit, and I did carry on and did one more. So, you know, I am my own mind. You know, just because Midge quit, it didn't mean I would have quit as well, you know. But it just wasn't quite the same, you know. I did that track Pleasure Boys, you know, and did another one that we didn't quite get out.
you mentioned earlier about Ultravox, you're splitting it as a democratic process. You split the money always.
Mm-hmm.
Fade to Grey, you know, that was not split.
No.
Explain why.
Now that again, I mean, you know, the guys were, when we were doing the Visage album at South Moulton Street, there's a tiny little studio there, Mayfair, before they moved up to the bigger studio. They were just stuck for lacking ideas. We were getting to the point where we had to get this album done, you know, we need some more songs. So I just brought that one in. And that was it really, out of their necessity and need to have more material. I don't know why we didn't put Tar on again, but we didn't, on the album, you know. It was a case of bring it in, but unfortunately, fellas, you know, you've got to accept that Said Sharpley and Chris Payne wrote this, and Midge actually did the final touch for that when he put the vocals on it. So that was split, you know, in threes.
You You got credit on that, or not?
Oh yeah, certainly did. No, we split it. We got thirds. I mean, it's me and that was the deal. I mean, I brought it in, and if Midge did the vocals on it, which I knew he was capable of by then, because it was going nowhere. It was just this backing track with a groove. I called it something else. I won't say what I called it. You know, it was like this groove thing, which we were just having a laugh to, dancing around the studio, you know, at Martin Rushton's place. And it was like, right, come on, let's do something with this. It's got a great vibe to it. So Midge, we split it 3 ways. Midge had a third, I had a third, and the other 2 guys split theirs with a third. Ced Sharpley and Chris Payne. Which was okay, but I mean, of course, that was a fantastic success, you know, and it's not always a recipe for a happy band, is it? But, you know, I think you just got to accept that if you're short of ideas, you know, you can't sort of backtrack on it later. I don't think anybody did, to be honest, you know.
But Visage is seen as very much obviously a collective